realism is sort of my art form, but cake is my medium. Things that you would never think of in cake terms, I think of. I'm Elisa Strauss. I'm the owner of Confetti Cakes Bakery, and I'm a cake designer.
Elisa Strauss left behind a career in fashion to become a full-time cake designer. At Confetti Cakes in New York City, she'll sculpt, mold, and paint a cake that looks so real, it's almost impossible to believe it's meant to be eaten. A custom cake can take up to a week to complete, but the biggest surprise of all may be that Strauss is completely self-taught in the art of trompe l'oeil.
Although we are baking, we're making everything from scratch. It's a strange thing calling my shop a bakery because I really think of it more as an art studio. I really do think of using the food coloring, gels, and powders really as paint. I think my specialty is creating cakes that look real, but each cake is completely different. Even though the sushi board is an entire cake, the little pieces make up little pedophores. But like most Japanese foods, the presentation is just as important as anything else. And so to make a sushi cake, what I do is I just take some regular, just white fondant, and then with some dyed brown fondant. I just twist it, almost like taffy. It's really just a sweet dough. Its main ingredient is confectioner sugar, and it has some glycerin in it, which makes it really pliable. Once the delicious cake is covered with the fondant, it's like a blank canvas that we could then paint on top of. What we do to create a paint mixture is we mix a little bit of brown food coloring with a little bit of vodka, and the vodka just helps it create a really nice fine paint. The great thing about wood grain is that there's so many different shades of it and different special details, so you really can't mess it up. The rice is labor intensive, like so much of what we do. For each piece of sushi, we need a whole handful of rice. So we're literally taking some sugar dough and forming it into little ovals. I think my job is deceivingly fun. It's a ton of hard work and it takes so much time. We put so much care into each cake. This is a candy food powder. It's just like regular food coloring, but it is in a powder form. So it just adds like a nice dust to the edge of it. And so that's how we get like the rind of our avocado and the edges of the ginger. So for the final touch, we usually just add a little bit of vanilla extract into our soy dish. I think my inspiration for the cakes comes from everywhere in the world. If I go to a museum, I may be inspired by a painting, or it may just be a client coming in with a stuffed animal of their child's favorite toy. When I can make a handbag look like an actual handbag with stitching, or make wood look like real wood, I think I'm literally tricking the eye. It's a really great part of my job. Our creations get eaten, but that's what we do. It's kind of like performance art. A lot of times they become the center of the party and they make the theme or the hobby come to life. So at the end of the day, it's so wonderful to watch the clients' reactions, and that's a really rewarding part about my job.